So good morning and welcome to today's edition of Where the Locals Go. I'm Chris McSwain, a realtor at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Bay Street Realty Group. And today our focus is on Stay Strong Gym, and we're going to be speaking with the owner, Sam. And we'll start off just like asking a really easy question like, Sam, tell us your story and what brought you to Beaufort.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. So my story, it's kind of unique in a way. Originally, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from a small town in Illinois. I grew up on a small family farm where there was no fitness centers either. I should say that people think like I've, grew up around this and that's how I got into it. There actually was nothing within 20 or 30 minutes of me in terms of even a physical gym. Mm-hmm. So fitness wasn't really a thing. All my family now feels like I'm Richard Simmons. But
that's all right.
Back to my so that's where I grew up. I grew up in a very small rural area. After I played college football, I came back to the area and was a police officer for about 5 years. I had, at the time, I was still living up there. I had.
Thanks for your service.
Thank you. I had 3 children, small children. I had several jobs. So as a police officer, in addition to that, I was a security guard at a local hospital. And then I also owned my own personal training business on the side. So I was doing all of those things with my children, and I was never really sleeping because I worked nights and I'd have to come home and take care of my kids in the day. They weren't school age yet. And what ended up happening to me was I couldn't stand up one day. I couldn't see anything because I never slept and I was under high stress. And my wife was like, hey, you need to go to the hospital. And I fought her with her about it for 3 days, but eventually the 3rd day came around and I still couldn't really see anything, couldn't stand up.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they brought me to the hospital, hospitalized me overnight, did all these tests. Long story short, basically I just wasn't sleeping. I had way too much stress in my life. So that was kind of my epiphany of, hey, I needed to change my life somehow. So then I was looking at more southern towns. I had previously lived in Florida for a short period, and I thought I wanted to live kind of in the Florida, Georgia, Carolina area.
Great.
And we ended up down here. What really drew me though to Beaufort was it's a nice small coastal town, but it really does have, and there's a lot of people from all over, but it has that small town feel still. And that's what I really, really still to this day appreciate about it most.
Well, that's a great story. I'm sorry, this is the first time I've heard of part of what brought you into the fitness world, but what I think the audience needs to know even more is that not only have you started in this, you have, excelled. I mean, Sam, you speak nationally on this topic because of the success that you've achieved here at Stay Strong, so congratulations for that. And that's one of the reasons why so many people here locally frequent and are customers. But Sam, let me just ask, can you say more about why people ask you to speak nationally?
I think that it's a unique approach we take here at Stay Strong, which honestly, Chris, it surprises me too. It still surprises me if I'm being 100% honest.
Of course.
But I think that what draws them and why we've had success is our methods are a little bit different than others, but we have a high reputation of training clients that are 60, 70, 80 years old, and we train lots of them, right? And we get them in fantastic shape. And that kind of goes along with my philosophies along fitness lines of longevity, doing things not just so we can get bigger muscles, but so we can live a better life. And often that's a lot of times what I speak about when I am talking to other gym owners, business owners. It's a blessing that I'm invited to speak on those things, but a lot of times it's not even about the business aspect of, how do we get clients in and things like that. It's more of the fulfillment and the mindset around what kind of culture you need to create inside your business.
Okay.
And that's usually what I do.
Well, say more about the culture, Sam, because I know that one of the things that makes your business as successful as it is the staff that you have.
Yes, 100%.
So nobody gets to wear the black shirt, I think, until they have gone through your training, no matter what they walked in the door with. So say more about the rigor that you want anyone who would work here to have gone through before you would let them personally train someone else.
Yeah, so we actually, it's funny you say that. I always use the analogy, I want that trainer to be comfortable training my mother, What's funny is my mother actually is down here now, and we have a new trainer, and part of her onboarding process is she is training my mother. So one thing that we do, we take a lot of time. One thing with the fitness industry, just like I'm sure even in the real estate industry, there's a lot of different perspectives, and people come at things from different angles. With fitness in particular, nowadays there's a huge issue with social media, which is good and bad for fitness. There's a lot of things that are portrayed that are quick fixes, or do this or that, this fad type of thing, and it may work and get temporary results, right, for clients and things like that. But the point I'm getting at is a lot of coaches will come in with that kind of in their mind, right? Hey, this is what gets results, and a lot of times it's not actually what works.
Right.
So we really take a diligent amount of time onboarding the coach, making sure they're going through a process where we're teaching them our philosophies. They're training the coaches before they ever can put hands or train a client, right? Be hands-on with the client or anything like that. So we are very diligent about making sure the things that we do are done correctly and with professionalism, first and foremost.
So, Sam tested and approved here at Stay Strong. Well, say more about your successes, and I know you're a very humble man, and I greatly admire that. But I know that 2023 was a really stellar year. Say more about the awards that have come your way, Sam.
Yeah, we've been fortunate. Again, this is a big credit to my staff and wonderful members that we have here. We were voted Best of the Low Country in Weight Loss Center, and then also Personal Training Center. I was invited to speak at GymCon, which is the world's largest gym conference. I spoke at that in 2023. One of our clients, actually, Wayne Stinnett, is a best-selling author and asked me to co-author a book with him last year. So there were a lot of unique opportunities that I was able to experience. And again, I'm just really blessed to have a great staff, a great clientele base that appreciates and supports our business.
Well, Sam, one thing I've observed through the years as I've lived in different places and tried to go to different gyms, it's not unusual to go in and, people are sort of hollering at you to do more. You ultimately overdo, you injure, and then you don't stick with it. I know that y'all have a very different approach here. As a matter of fact, if somebody got injured, you would look at it as a huge failure and want to learn from it. Typically your clients, how long do they stay with you?
Oh, we have a great retention rate. Typically they're staying with us until they move away. So we've had clients, that have been since the day I've opened, still hanging around. I actually have a client that I trained from Illinois when I first started training. He's with us still doing a remote service.
Oh my gosh.
So typically they're not leaving unless something comes up, that would prohibit them from training, or they move out of the area. We're very fortunate. We have great relationships.
Now you have two facilities here that are within 50 yards of each other. You do group sessions here, and then you have one-on-one sessions.
Yep.
Can you give our audience a perspective of the types of training that you offer here?
Yeah, that's a great question, because our model's a little unique, and it's been revised over the years several times, and now it's kind of fitted to just where I want it. So we do small group personal training. That is going to be a coach with up to 8 individuals with them. Now in the facility, there may be another coach with up to 8 individuals with them, and it's all the training, as it's customized to the client's experience. So.
Yes.
Their capability levels. Some days, or some clients, right, they don't have exercise experience like the person they're working out near, right? So we tailor that all. We take beginners, we take people that are advanced athletes, we take 20-year-olds, we take 80-year-olds, and they're all included in this program. And we try to customize it to them. And what it produces, at least I believe, is one fantastic fitness experience, but it's really the customer experience of interacting with their peers too while going through it, in a fashion that's not as cookie cutter as some of the other ways gyms do it, I guess you could say.
Oh, absolutely not. What I've observed is a strong emphasis on personalization and what I would consider or would call micro adjustments. So each one of your staff members comes in with a by-person workout pre-planned for them. And if that member walks in that day and says, you know, my elbow is really hurting me, they will make those micro adjustments in that workout so as to not further aggravate a particular area like an elbow. And I think that's very remarkable and a differentiator. And it's got to be one of the reasons why your retention rate is so long, because people can enjoy being well.
Yep. Yeah, and something that I noticed actually when I purchased this business originally, and one thing that we did have to make a correction on was the injury rate and the way we were training people. We had to kind of adjust the model to fit that, and since we have done that, it is extremely, or you're right, I would look at injuries as a kind of a failure if they were happening, and that's just a testament to our coaches. They all are 100% professionals. We're very fortunate for the quality of coach we have and the character they possess.
Well, Sam, I want to just probe a little bit deeper into the combination of services you provide. In my opinion, one of the other unique aspects of what Stay Strong provides is an integrated model. The physical is only one part of an overall perspective of well-being. I know that you offer nutrition as a strong part, and you have other facilities that are available on site, sauna, as well as massage you have too. So help everybody understand sort of your thinking of all those services.
Yeah, absolutely. So it kind of has to work. It's just like your life. It all flows synergistically, right? For the good or the bad. And especially when it comes to health, it can't be just what we do physically in the gym. There's also mental components to it. And we have to make sure we're moving when we're not outside the gym, because our workouts aren't very long, right? They're 45 minutes at a time. If you're only coming in 2-3 times a week, you're working out for less than 2-3 hours a week. We have to make sure that we're taking care of what's going on outside. So part of our services, we will kind of make adjustments for you and have a way to track that when you're outside of our facility. If you're at home, we can give you things to do, such as we can make it easy, like walks, or we can give you full workouts. And then also we do track nutrition and habits. I'm very habit-based in our approach, so we're not focusing on fad, quick fix diets so we can lose 20 pounds right away and then wait a month and gain 30 back, right? We really work on the habits, because that's what's going to make long-standing changes. One thing that I'm very big on, and I think our program kind of, a good summary of our program and what we focus on, is longevity. We want to make sure that what we do benefits the client not only today, but 5-10 years down the road, so they can continue to play with their kids, grandkids, enjoy the activities. We're fortunate here in Beaufort. We have such beautiful just scenery all around us outside. Lots of great activities you could do with that, and we want our clients to enjoy those for as long as they can. And that's kind of our philosophy in some of the services. We also have sauna and things like that fall along with the longevity component.
Well, let's talk about Beaufort. You mentioned that, and I want to probe it a little bit. How has the Beaufort community embraced you and your business? Because this is very unique. While there are other fitness facilities in town, this one is quite unique, and of course it's award-winning. So how would you say the Beaufort business community has embraced what you do?
Yeah, I think that it's been great, just really beyond I could even imagine. We have a lot of business owners that come and train here, and they've been very supportive of our business. We get lots of referrals. They're referring clients, and at first, from being not from the area, I was a little concerned when I did take over, how would I be accepted? And I think that just the product that we offer, the service that we offer, has spoken for itself, and people can recognize our intentions, and that they're reciprocal in those. They're more than, it's been awesome. It's a great, fantastic place to do business.
No, I'm glad. And I'm not surprised. It's the Low Country is a very welcoming area, and I'm not surprised but grateful that they've welcomed you.
Yes.
Sam, as we sort of draw near the end here, I'd like to draw attention to the words that are behind us in this sitting area. Tell us more about that, because this is sort of your core beliefs. It forms the culture of this organization, and I've watched you live these words. So say more about them.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. So our core values, they're right behind us here. We have lead with love, consistency conquers, and grounded in gratitude. And these really, how I formed these, Chris, honestly, it's how I thought of living a better life, right, first. And then when I took over the business, we implemented our core values right away. I put them all over the walls. I talk to them about clients when they come in, because I want to be very transparent, because personal training is it's a very personalized business. It's not just a transactional based business. So I want to make sure everybody's on the same page here. So I'll talk about them all day to clients. And
it's on your website.
Yeah, it is. And I'll elaborate kind of on some of those and what they mean, if you don't mind, really quick.
Of course, no. Please,
lead with love. So we kind of take this from two approaches. We take it from a coach's perspective, what I tell the coaches to focus on with clients, and then kind of what the client should think about. For this video, I'll just kind of talk about clients, since most of your viewers would be kind of fall more in that category, unless they're fitness enthusiasts. So lead with love. That is simply, we are going to take the actions we need to if we love ourselves to take care of our body, because it is the vessel that carries us around for our life. So lead with love. If you love your body, you're going to make better choices. Are we always going to be perfect? No. But that's kind of the first one. Also, always leading with a helping hand. It just feels good to lead with love. It's going to come back tenfold. This is kind of the first one. Consistency conquers. That's pretty self-explanatory. You're not going to have much success if you go out, do one workout once a year.
So that happens.
Yes. Or if you, eat right once a year, you're not going to probably see the shape you want. It's just anything that's worthwhile. You have to be consistent at it, put in that consistent effort, and it's going to conquer the results you're looking for.
Okay.
And then the third and the final one is grounding in gratitude. We really express gratitude here a lot. What I tell my coaches with this one is we have the best training facility in South Carolina, and we have the best clients in South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
And we're grateful for that. Really though, we talk to our clients, just the ability to move, get stronger, have that inner strength is something to be grateful for. No matter at what age, what your ability level is. If you can walk in here, it's not that bad of a day. Right.
Well, speaking of it not being that bad of a day, I'd like to make sure everybody understands the results that these programs that you're describing today actually bring. You, on a weekly basis, send out an email with videos and pictures of people before and after at various stages of their well-being journey. And they are remarkable, Sam. I mean, you measure a lot here. You have body scans that get very accurate measurements of body composition, and you track that over time. So can you, not by name, but could you just give maybe one person as an example that really makes you and the team feel proud that you made a difference in somebody's life?
Absolutely. There are so many examples. I get overwhelmed with this. It's one of the greatest things, and I'll give you a specific one in a second, but before that, I do want to just say that with the results, what really brings us joy is we love the 40-pound weight losses, 50, we've had clients who's 150 pounds. That really does bring us joy. But what really, really gets me excited is when we have clients that are physically able to do things that either they couldn't in 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden they can do.
Oh, awesome.
Or they get off things like medication that they've been on their whole life. Those are the true kind of wins. Just a short example, I mentioned him earlier, Wayne. He came in with no lifting experience prior to training here. He actually was recommended, his doctor told him that he was overweight and needed to get off his butt and move. So Wayne came to see me. Since then, he's lost a remarkable amount of weight. I believe it's about 40 or 50 pounds now of fat, just body fat. But he actually set 4 South Carolina State powerlifting records, having never lifted before, at the age of 63.
Oh my gosh.
So just like, that's just one that kind of encapsulate what Stay Strong is about, is he's now, he's in the best shape of his life, but he's also able to do things now at an older age that he wasn't able to do prior, and he'll tell you that. So it's just one short example. That's
the essence of the book y'all wrote together.
Yes, it is.
All right, well, that's wonderful. Sam, you've come a long way from when you couldn't sleep.
Yes.
And you went to the hospital. So I couldn't be more excited for all of our viewers here to have the opportunity to see a little bit more about what you're about and what Stay Strong is about. And hopefully it's been informative. So Sam, thank you very much. I wish you a great rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Sam.
Yeah. Thanks. I hope